start with the outside, which is the frame of the eyes, which are your eyebrows. And it's something we probably didn't pay that much attention to as we got older. When we were younger, I know in the 1970s, I was really big on plucking my eyebrows to this like 1930s status. And eventually my eyebrows kind of got the word and they stopped growing and thicker. I mean, we're not Brooke Shields. We don't need to do the big caveman eyebrows, but I think that if you've got very sparse brows, or if you have just a little bit of brows here and then it's all empty there, you might want to fill them in. And what I do is I take a eyebrow pencil. This one is from NYX. NYX it's very inexpensive. This is the MicroBrow, and you just spin it up like this. And what I do is, your start of your brow should be right here. So I make a gateway mark right here. That's where that side's going to be. And this is where this side's going to be. It's a gateway mark. Okay, so then I do like the little grass marks like we did in school for paintings. And I'm just filling it in here. I'm looking straight ahead at my eyes. The eyebrows are at slightly different levels. Now I like to pick a color that is the same color as my hair. I don't like to go too dark. Don't go too dark with your eyebrows because it'll be so obvious. It'll look very unnatural. This is a taupe, which is kind of a universal shade. If you use it lightly, it looks very, very nice and natural. Now I'm just building slowly. Now this eyebrow is a little higher than this side, so I'm kind of going on the bottom a little bit too. And I'm just filling it in with the pencil. It's very easy. Take a little time with it. Now what I do is on the other end there's this little, what they call a spoolie, and you just kind of brush through it, just like you're brushing your hair, but you brush the brows up. And you're kind of merging the stick pencil that you just painted on with your actual brows so it looks more natural. Now, a lot of us have white and gray hairs in our brows, and I know that probably many of you pluck them. I see you doing that. Don't do that. They have mascaras for your brows now that have a tint to them, so it's almost like dyeing your hair, but it's a safe, temporary paint-on mascara. It's like a little wand. Looks like mascara for your eyelashes, but it's for your brows. And it paints color over the top of those white and gray hairs, so you no longer have them, but you have them in your brows, because you need more, the most hair you can get in your eyebrows. You really don't want to keep plucking all the hair out so there's nothing there. You don't want to draw on your whole eyebrow. I mean, you want to have some hair there. And if you're going up with it, you'll see a couple of hairs kind of sticking up, looking natural. And you can just smooth them out if you don't like what you see in the mirror. Remember, nobody's looking at you at the 7 by level, but it's nice that you have the 7 by, which is 7 times normal vision. So it's really good. Now there's a whole bunch of different types of eyeshadows you can buy very inexpensively. If you're going to CVS drugstore, they have the MUA. This is a nice basic palette. You've got a light color, a matte crease color, and you've got a dark color for the corners. This is a perfect little palette. It's about $8 at CVS, and it's in the front. They have these little spinners now with impulse items, and this is one of them. If you go to Five Below, they have these little kits that are $2 each. They're called Beauty Treats, and this one is comparable. Actually, they're both somewhat comparable to the Vizart palettes, which are, you know, very, very expensive. So this is more advanced use, the colors in that. But what we want to work with is more of a natural palette, a neutral palette. So these for $2 each work really well. Now when you, some of us on YouTube talk about really expensive eye palettes that cost, you know, $50, $60, $70, $80, $90. Some are even $160 for eyeshadows. But some of these kinds of things, like Makeup Revolution, they have things that imitate them. And what it is these eyeshadows are supposed to be very similar to Urban Decay's Naked palette, the original Naked 1 palette, which is in most beauty bloggers' collections. This has got a nice variety of different shades, both matte, which is not shimmery in any way, or satin and shimmery. And this has a little bit of everything in it, and so a lot of people think this is a really good one to have. Now this is a copycat one from Makeup Revolution. It's only $7. You can find this in Ulta, you can find this online on their website, and I believe it is from England, so you can find it in Europe, which is good. So I like to use 3 colors for my main base eye, and then depending on what I'm wearing or what type of season it is, I will add a color of some sort afterwards. But the 3 colors are this very light color, a light ivory, or a color that's at least a couple of shades lighter than your natural skin tone, matte only. I put this all over the lid and up to the top. Now we're just going to go on the other side. I'm just packing a lot of color here to make sure there's a good coverage of color, and it doesn't look all that different to you, but this will help the rest of the eyeshadows go on nicely. The next color is this color, and it's kind of a medium light brown color, and I'm just going to put this right in the center of my lid and just go back and forth here. I'm not touching the lid, and I'm just going just above the mobile part of my lid, back and forth, and I'm kind of shearing it out on the edge. Go back again and do the same thing to this side. Just in the center, and then I'm going to the outer part of my eye, straight out to that side. Is that left or right to you? I think it's right to you. It's left to me. And now, the more fussing you can do with shearing it out on the edges, the nicer it's going to look and the more natural it's going to look. Now, none of this is going to look really pretty until we get the mascara and the eyeliner on. It's just laying down the base for the colors of the lid. And the closer you stay to natural, the better. And this is just a base eye look, and I think that it's something that will look pretty on anybody. You don't want to go past this point. Some people put a piece of tape there, some people put a credit card. It's so funny. I mean, you can put something like this, you know, and just hold it there until you know what you're doing. But basically, from the end of your eye, you want to go up, straight, and then over. Up, straight, over. Now we can go into this darker shade here, and I make a little dot on the very end corner of my eye. I'm going to go into the other side and make the dot on the very end corner. And I'm just going to smear that out a little bit, go up just a little bit so it meets with that other color. And then bring it in just a little bit towards the center. Bring it in towards the center. You don't want any harsh lines. You just want everything to look blended. Remember, this is just a little $8 palette. And I'm using all matte shades right now because this is the base. The base should always be matte. Now if you go up a little bit higher, you're going to get a little bit more of a dramatic effect. Okay, I'm going to close that. And let's go into this Beauty Treats one. This has kind of a pretty light orange color. I'm just going to just trace all around the upper edge of that light brown. I'm just tracing along the upper edge with this orangey light color. You can do this with a pink color as well, or even your blush. And what that does is it kind of makes a gradation. And then what I'd like to do is take one of these lighter, brighter colors and just go on the inside here and just double duty that. Make that look pretty. This is LA Colors. These are $2 from the Walgreens, I think. You can find LA Colors almost anywhere, and they're very cheap, but they do sometimes have interesting things. This is a shiny color. I'm just going to put this right here on the inside of my eyelid, and then I'm going to use this shiny color just up here. I'm just going to tap it up there. Tap it. So I don't have a stripe. I don't want a stripe, a racing stripe. It looks like I have a piece of chrome up there. So this is a very nice base eye until I get the mascara on. You'll see it's very, very pretty on its own. If I want to take it up a notch, I can actually add another color. I can add something like this blue or this green. Just put a little of this blue right here. I call it the color bar. It's just the very center of the lid. And I just smear that out. You can use your finger, smear it right out towards the outside so it blends with the outside. And also you may want to line your eyes. So you can maybe take this pretty green, and I start from the outside and just go right underneath, halfway into my eye. And this is a very flat little brush. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to meet that end of the dark, and I'm going to bring it right around halfway. Now shadows make a beautiful light liner. It doesn't look too heavy, too dramatic. Doesn't close up your eyes too much. You can put a lighter shade like this gold underneath here on the inside to the middle. It's starting to take shape here. So there's your variety of different inexpensive eyeshadow palettes. They work just fine. They work just fine. They're not elegant, luxurious. You can try a color like this. Let me just see. I'll take a teeny bit of this green and I'll just stick it right there in the color bar. A teeny bit here in the color bar. And that's how you would use a bright color like that. You can just put a teeny bit in so there's just a flash of it, not, you know, in your face big. As far as one of these orange colors or pinks, a little, again, a little goes a long way. Just up here in the corner. You can see it, but it's not overpowering the whole look. So that's how you would use that, just a little touch with your finger. Okay, now we are going to go into eyeliners. Now there's stick eyeliners and there's liquid eyeliners. A liquid liner, this is from Jordana. This is called the Cat Eye, and this is in a dark brown. You see how pretty that is? you would just hold that about halfway right up next to your lashes. Let me do something else on the other side. On the top, you can also, again, connect right close to your lashes, just on the outer edge. And it makes a nice, sturdy, will last all day line. Now these cat eye liners, they come in a variety of colors. The black and the dark brown are nice. I like to use a gray or a dark brown liner. I don't like to use black. I think it's a little harsh. Now the other kind of liner that you see a lot, this is PIXI. You can find this in Target stores. This is a really nice line. And then this is KIKO. This is a gray eye pencil. And you can do the same thing. You just draw a little bit along the lash line up and then down in the outer half of the eye. Again, you just draw close to your lashes and then down. Now some people like to do what they call tight lining, and what that is that you look up and you put the eyeliner right on the bottom of the lashes, almost towards the inner eye. This takes a little bit of skill, and you have to, some people just half close their eyes and draw that way, and it leaves a slight line just on the lower part of your inner lashes, and it gives you a really nice eye line that way. And that one's a particularly good one for doing that with. Now we're going to do mascara next, and I think that that's an area that everybody has their favorites, and I have a few favorites here. They're all inexpensive. The first one is Catrice, and this is called Lashes to Kill. This is a great mascara. And what makes a great mascara? Well, when you're putting it on, it makes your lashes look full and long, and it stays on your lashes all day, so even though you're blinking a lot, it doesn't leave little dots on your eyelid or smudge underneath. If it's very warm and you're sweating, you don't want smudging. And these pass that test. This is the Catrice Lashes to Kill. This is KIKO's Ultra Tech mascara. This is a lovely mascara. It's on sale right now on the KIKO website for $4.99, and that's a lovely mascara. Now this wand, as they call it, the brush end on this is a rubber tip. Sometimes it feels a little scratchy when you're putting this one on. The formula is nice though, and it does give you really nice big honkin' lashes, as I like to say. Now this one is found in Walgreens and Rite Aid, I believe. This is Jordana. You can also find this, I think, in Kmart. Jordana and Milani are made out of the same factory, and so I would like to believe that a lot of the products are similar. But before you put mascara on, you should curl your lashes. And there's two major kinds of lash curlers. This kind that you know, the squeezy, where you put open it up, put it over your lash, and then close it down. If it hurts, you're doing it wrong. So try it again, release, and try it, and then squeeze it down and hold it for about 8 seconds. It seems like a long time. Some people like to release and go up a little higher and hold it like this so that it curls up. And then there's this weird contraption. You pull down the back, and it's like a little guillotine. Okay, here we go. Same thing. Put it over your lashes, squeeze, and hold it for 8 seconds. Now you do need to curl your lashes because it gives them a little bit of show. You know, you can see them, which is really nice. And I'm going to put KIKO on one side. And this is the KIKO Ultra Tech. Now you get as close as you can to your lid without poking yourself in the eye, and you jiggle back and forth. And this coats the sides of the lashes, not just the bottoms of the lashes. So your natural instinct is to just go like this, but you should jiggle first to get the product on your lashes. and then you can push it up. Now I like to do the lower lashes as well. You can take it on the side and go back and forth that way and then go down. And make sure to hit the edges here. Especially on older faces, the edges are the most important lashes. And then I use the little tip to go on the inner lashes too. You want to get those inner lashes. Now sometimes if you put too much mascara on, it gets, like a couple of them will stick together. So you want to take a spoolie or a, they sell these individually, they're just mascara wands, or what this is called a spoolie. It's one end is a eyebrow brush and one end is a what they call a spoolie. You can just take that, put that right through and that should take out your clump. They also have special lash combs for that. Now if you make any kind of a mess, you can just use a Q-tip underneath and take off any excess. Now on this side we're going to use the Catrice Lashes to Kill mascara, and I really like this. It's a good performer. The brush is easy to handle. Again, I'm jiggling. You can see it makes quite a quite a big lash. And going to the edges, make sure you get the edges. Back and forth and then down. I got a little bit, see where there's a couple of lashes stuck together here. I'm just going to take that spoolie and go right on through here. So you can see there are different mascaras. And I'm going to just do another coat of the KIKO. And I think out of the two, I prefer the Catrice Lashes to Kill. Both of these last really well during the day and they don't leave little marks on your eyelids. There we go. Now, this is when you take your mirror and you have a look and see, you know, whether you need to smooth anything out, if there's what they call fallout, which is when you're using your eyeshadow powder, some of them trickle down on your cheek. You want to make sure that's cleaned off. Make sure your makeup's set really well. If you need a little more blush, maybe. If you need a little more eyeshadow on one side or the other, if they don't match, how everything looks. And now we're going to do lips. Take this up a notch. What about false lashes? You with me on this one? There's two kinds of lashes that you can get. This is what they call a strip lash, which means that there's a little strip that has a lot of hairs on it that are enough either to cover some of your eyelid or all of your eyelid. They call that a strip lash. Now these are the individual lashes, and these are the double take ones. And you basically you pull each of these out, dip them in glue, and you rest them on the top of the lash, pressing against the lid. And it's kind of, you put them where you actually need extra lashes, which is very, very easy. It takes a little bit of practice to do this. What I'm going to show you today is how to put regular false lashes on. And Ardell makes beautiful lash. ANDREA makes nice lashes. I think I prefer Adele. And I like this kind. They're kind of shorter in the middle and longer on the outside. You can find variants of this all over the place. You can even cut them. You can cut a little bit off if it's too much for you, if you think it's too big. I'll just cut off the last little section here. And you cut from the outside. You can see I've cut off about this much, so I've made them a little bit smaller, and that makes them look a little more natural on the eye. Cut from the outside always, and then I push them away from they're kind of semi-glued onto their little containers. This is not the glue that goes onto your eye. This will not hold on your eye, so you need an additional glue. It usually comes in the packet with them. But if it doesn't, I really like to use this. This is the Kiss Strip Lash Glue with Aloe. It's a cruelty-free product. And I found one of the easiest ways to do this is to, I'll show you. This has got a little brush on it, and I'm just going to take it and right against the edge of my lid, right to the edge of my eye. I'm putting this glue, and this is a clear glue. It goes on, it looks like a little whitish blue. And I keep these in front of me. This is the left, the longest is on the outside here. And I just do a little slinky thing with it. And I'm just going to hold this down against the glue, pull it down, and rest it against my lid. Some people use tweezers to do this. I just use my fingers and just press it down. And then I open my eye, and there it is. That was easy, huh? Let's do the other side. I gotta look in my mirror here. So I'm not used to being so close to the mirror, my goodness. Right here, all the way to the edge with the glue. And then you take the lash, the long sides out, and I do a little slinky thing with it. And I'm going to stick it down against the lid so that it touches the glue. And it's on. Easy peasy, easy peasy, and look at how big my lashes are now. Okay, now a lot of people like to take an eyeliner afterwards and just kind of go along the edge of the base so that it blends in nicely. This is also a time where you can kind of fix your eye makeup and add a little bit of makeup to make it blend better. Sometimes putting the glue on will mess up your eyeliner. So let's do that. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to get close to the mirror, so that's good for you. You'll be able to see it. Okay. Going to go right here over the top. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope it's been helpful to you. I will be doing more tutorials on different types of makeup look, and also come the holiday time I always do my best of high-end, best of drugstore, so you can see what products work really well. So once you master the basic skill sets of makeup application, you're going to be on your way to looking really fresh and polished and ready for the world. So everybody have a beautiful day. Take care. Thanks.